Jared and his friends are absolute fools. It was cute though, whatever. Hello everybody and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind Season 2, Episode 9 and 10. The reason why I didn't do a dedicated video for 9 is because I feel like it didn't really give us any new information. So I thought it was a waste of an episode altogether, if we're being honest. But before I get into it, as always, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I will be going live. If you're watching this the day it posted, it will be tonight, 7 p.m. The time is tentative. But we are going live tonight, so watch out for that. So a few things from episode 9 that I wanted to note was that Shayne is disgusting. And here is why. He's having a conversation with Shake, who is equally disgusting. And they're basically saying like, oh, maybe you gotta turn off the lights and take a shot in order to get intimate with Deepti.
Right. And your way, just to be concise, is to turn off the lights, take 5 shots, and go for it.
Do something. If I was you, and I know we're not the same people, but I would be doing it every single night, and I would figure out this problem as much as I possibly could if she means that much to you.
At that point, I'd rather you just call me ugly. I'd rather you just say that I am ugly, you don't like me, you damn near hate me, because to say, oh, knock a few back and turn off the lights and you'll be good. That's Moving on. The bachelor and bachelorette parties were very lackluster to me. All I saw was everybody kind of reaffirming the reasons why they shouldn't get married, but then are still gonna go through with it because I guess contractually they have to walk down the aisle. But yeah, I mean, we had Deepti basically like really feeling like maybe this shouldn't be what she does. We also had Nick's friends being like, are you sure? Like, are you for sure?
Josh just want to make sure that this is it. Right?
You're like the most hesitant of everyone, even more than my parents.
It's just weird. At the end of the day, it's just like, it is what it is, but it's just so fast.
And so with that, we are going to go to Nick and Danielle's wedding. During the wedding prep, Danielle is basically saying that she wants to get married, but she's unsure if she should say yes because she thinks that Nick thinks that she is not ready. And then fast forward to Nick, Nick's vows actually. He says that their values keep them together and that their differences are entertaining or exciting or something like that.
I think that our values bring us together. Our differences keep us entertained, and I'm always here for you. I know you're always here for me.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until, you know, arson. So Danielle says yes at the wedding, and the way that Nick was sweating profusely, you would have thought he was ready to run for the hills, but he said yes. He reaffirmed that his decision was a game time decision and that he truly was not all the way sure that she would be ready for marriage, but ultimately he was, and he loves her, so therefore that was enough for him to say yes. Happy days, moving on. Deepti and Shake are next, and Shake is still weary about the lack of physical connection that he has to Deepti, and it's more specifically the animalistic attraction that he brings up. And the friends are trying to put it into perspective that hasn't worked in the past, and maybe this is what you need.
If you're forever gonna be thinking that there's always gonna be something better, you're always a swipe away, wouldn't you want like somebody that you're emotionally connected to? Because you're kind of marrying the personality anyways.
I said it before and I'll say it again. If seeing her in this dress does not do it for you, then I don't know what to tell you. She was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Also, did y'all see the friend getting ready at on Deepti's side? That was a castmate. I'm like, did y'all know each other before the show? What? A lot of people just got gypped this season. They need to make more episodes than just 10. So she's talking to her family, and they're very supportive. Like, anything you do, we love you, we support you, blah, blah, blah. Listen, let me tell you something. If you make my ass get ready to come to your wedding that has all this extravaganza. I understand a lot of it is traditional. Cool, 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 cool. But if you make me get ready, sign the damn forms to have my face shown on the television, for y'all to not see it through, I would be livid. Where I knew things were not gonna work out was they were talking at the altar, and Shake says, "What a fun thing to be a part of."
Hi. Oh, you look amazing. Thank you. What a fun thing to be part of.
Your wedding? When you claim to love somebody, you're like, oh, well, this is fun. And it wasn't even like, oh, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to start our life together. It's kind of like, oh, well, if anything happens, this was a great experience. And it's like, yikes. When they are now asked, do you want to get married? She's like, no.
I deserve somebody who knows for sure. So I'm choosing myself, and I'm gonna say no.
Ultimately, her reason was that she never felt like she was number one for him. She never felt like she was completely loved by him. And of course, like we had said throughout the season, he says these things that are rude and disrespectful to everybody but her. And then even to her, like, it was almost like he was putting on a show, and you can feel when somebody's being inauthentic with you. And so the fact that he was still wanting to carry it along, I don't know if that's production, but if it is, then production needs to change that. To me, that's a disservice to the people involved. I would rather a situation like maybe Natalie and Shayne, where they really looked like, you know, at the cusp, they were going for it, whereas these two had been having problems the whole time. So it's like, if one of them wanted to dip, let them dip. Because now look, he was so unfazed, completely unfazed when she walked away. And he was even making comments after like, oh, if I would have said yes, she would have said yes.
Yo, this is a celebration. This is a celebration. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. Let's run it. Let's run it. Here we go, baby. Everybody up. Everybody up. Here we go. If I would have said yes, you would have said yes. Yeah. That's why I feel amazing. We avoided all of that.
He says that he doesn't have work tomorrow, so they could party all night if they want to. Again, if he would have said yes, she would have said yes. He's like, oh, I've been on the fence for a long, and I'm just like, you're disgusting. You are disgusting. Do not come to my family promising that you're going to take care of me, promising that, and yes, I'm taking it personal like it was me, promising that you're going to be the best husband, promising that this is going to be lifetime, when all of the time you were on the fence. I would rather you be authentic. And then maybe y'all could have gone to some counseling and really see what, but you know what? It's a TV show. So maybe I'm just too damn invested. It's a TV show, girl. Let it go. So with Natalie and Shayne, the night before the wedding, they got into a huge blowout, which seems to have been alcohol-induced. And at this point, she hasn't explained what exactly was said. But Shayne is saying that, you know, well, in arguments, you say things that you don't mean, which can happen, but it doesn't have to happen because words are a choice. And you made a choice to say those things, but whatever. And he's saying that he was tired of the digs that Natalie was making, and then production is like, let's show you guys just to remind you.
Take your shirts off. Actually, put it back on. I'm good.
You're a piece of shit. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. It's like we all have breaking points and whatnot, and I had mine that night.
For me, where I knew things were going left was when everybody was coming in. The moms shot each other a look, and it was like, this is not gonna happen. And then comes the vows where, what's his name now? Shayne says yes. But Natalie said no.
I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, Shayne. I still love you, and you're still my best friend. Like, we have really big issues to sort through.
And as much as I would do a process like Love is Blind, I truly believe in making like a intellectual connection before like physical stuff. I would never, get my parents involved because they would keel over and die. Did you see Shayne's mother? She looked like her world had ended in that moment. And I'm like, yeah, you see, I would never make my parents susceptible to this. Never. So Shayne runs after Natalie. And at first when they're having the conversation, it seems like they're open to leaving the door open and maybe giving themselves more time until they start to rehash what the fight was all about.
So you're saying you truly felt like you hated me and I was the worst thing for you at that moment?
Or do you want to do this right now?
No, I was just, is that what you were saying?
Why not fair?
I just didn't know what you meant by what you said. You truly meant those words.
I guess he's like, I don't know if he said I hate you or she interpreted that he hated her. The details are kind of fuzzy. And in as much as I don't really like Shayne, I feel like he's a performer sometimes. I did appreciate that he actually showed some real emotion in the fact that this didn't turn out how he thought it would. Because you had Shake being like, hey, let's party, let's party. Disgusting. At least Shayne showed a little bit of sadness. Moving on to Sal and Mallory. Although Mallory's sister was not down with the wedding, refused to give her blessing, she did show up, but she still had a lot to say.
Can you say, like, right now that you love him? Like, this is the person that you love?
I do love him. I do love him and I care about him a lot.
And you envision him as, like, a life partner. Like, you can see yourself in the future. Like,
for sure. I mean,
5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Like, you can see that.
Yeah, I could.
Her mom and siblings could not make it to the wedding, and it was probably for the best. Also, why do they set up all these chairs and like barely anybody fills them? I just feel like that was a waste of labor. So now we're at the altar, and Sal is asked if he's ready to, commit to what's her face, and he's like, no. But the reason is because he needed more time. He still loves her, but he just felt like they rushed getting married, right? But her response is what killed me.
I feel like I just need more time.
It's
okay. It's okay. Bye. I'm so sorry. If they end up being together, like, okay, cool. Like, all the best to you, whatever. But for somebody to constantly have to convince you that they love you, it's really hard for me to believe it. I am a person who's not moved by words. So you can say something until kingdom comes, but unless I see action, I don't buy it. So for me, love is seen, felt, and understood. I ain't feeling, and I definitely didn't understand it. They end up meeting up after the wedding, and I think it was her who was saying, something did kind of feel off.
In my heart, I knew that you weren't 100% sure.
Honestly, Mel, like, I almost did take that leap with you.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Mm-hmm.
She also said she might have said yes if he said yes. And I'm like, what? Y'all are weird. They do still love each other, and they agreed to revisit the relationship conversation after they've had some time to just settle into, what just happened. But they do agree that they are going to go on a date. Haven't y'all been going on dates? Okay. Because if, go on these dates. And hopefully if we see y'all again, he has gotten all his singing out, because every time that damn ukulele came on screen, I was like, cállate la boca. So tired of it. Like, yo, estoy cansada. Last but not least is Ayanna and Jared. Hearing Ayanna, this woman, she's young, but emotionally she's mature. Hearing her speak about Jared is what I have been wishing to hear from Jared the entire time.
I love him completely as his whole person. He has an amazing heart. I've never had someone just be so empathetic. He has great character.
My main theme for them, like at the beginning, yeah, I was annoyed that he did make her second choice, but in the end, I was just constantly irritated that her redeeming quality, her biggest redeeming quality was that she was so strong. She's so resilient. She's been through so much. She's an overcomer. And I'm just like, there's no more than that. This woman has noticed your empathy. She's commented on your character and all this stuff. And you were strong. When Jarrett was visited by his sister, he does get really emotional, and I was like, this is cute. Like I said, what won me over for Jarrett was his family. His family is so amazing, and I was like, you know what? If he is anything like them, then he must be a good dude. And he's talking to her, basically saying that he's adamant on making sure that Ayanna knows that she is the only one. He's in this for the long haul, and she will be loved.
I want to make her the happiest person in the world. It's a lifelong commitment.
Yes.
I want to make sure that she knows that she's the only woman that matters to me.
All right.
I'm done. I'm retiring my jersey.
And that includes partying, going to clubs.
As promised, Jarrett's father did officiate the wedding, and this is how I knew they was gonna say yes, because I know one thing for sure. A real pastor in real life saying he's going to officiate his son's wedding, it was never going to be a sham. I highly doubt he ever would have stood up there knowing his son was not going to say yes. Ayanna could have said no, fine. But he knew his son was going to say yes. Absolutely knew his son was going to say yes. Jarrett then says his vows, and everything, like I said, everything that I wanted him to say, he finally said.
You showed me that I'm able to be loved the way that I wanted to be loved. No other woman has accepted me for who I am, flaws and all. You took me and you cared for me, you nurtured me, and this all happened through walls. Through walls, and I knew that this was something that was real, something that was strong, and something that can withstand the test of time.
Like I said in one of the videos, I think for me, the reason why I had some disdain for Jarrett was because of the edit that they were giving. And I'm sure they had more conversations that just weren't about her resilience, but they didn't show that. So it was hard for me to get on the boat because I am a Black woman who dates Black men. And constantly it's like they pick one thing and they fixate on it. And it's like, I'm more than just that. Like, come on. So seeing him say more things, articulate more, and just be more vulnerable in this episode, I was like, it's about damn time. And then the I do's, I was like, okay, this was cute.
I do.
Extra.
I do.
I do.
Jesus.
So ultimately they started with 6 engagements, but y'all, did y'all know there was actually 8? There were 8 engagements. And they wasted our time with Kyle and Shayna for what? Oh my God, because those couples are still together. Irritating. Anyways, there were 8 or 6, whatever number you want to pick, engagements, only 2 actual unions, and everybody at the end, whether they got married or not, they're like, you know, love truly is blind. Whether it worked out or not, like, I still believe in it. And Deepti's like, I don't know, man.
I'll find my person, and it's not Shake. I guess love isn't always blind.
I'm with you, Deepti. If I ever was partnered with a jack donkey like Shake, I would feel like, no, love is not blind. I don't believe in it. And this person was a waste of my time, a waste of my energy. And I could have been connecting with somebody else in these damn pods. So the reunion is March 6th, March 4th. Yeah, the reunion is March 4th. And whew, we're gonna have to have a live about that too. So hopefully I can do the same thing where I post Saturday morning and we have a live Saturday night. So stay tuned for that. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.